Feeling just slightly pissed off today. Pissed off that I don't have a leg, that I can't just get up and walk somewhere, that I'm still not allowed to drive, that I'm still not allowed to swim, and that I still can't work. Another thing that ticked me off, I went down to the Tour of Southland to watch the prologue yesterday. Now, have you ever thought of this? People in wheelchairs standing on the sidelines of a race. Now, people, when they're waiting for someone to come, usually stand next to the barriers and lean forward slightly, looking down the road. Well, if you do that, I can't see a fucking thing. So I couldn't actually see much at all until everybody had already gone past. So please do think of wheelchair users when you're at events like that, because we can't stand up and lean around the corner and we can't see through you or past your fat ass. So that was my little whinge about the Tour of Southland. I usually go to watch the last leg, which is laps around Queen's Park. I'm slightly hoping that it'll be slightly better then, and that I can get some type of view, because I was toing and froing between the start and the finish, and it was across long grass. It's another thing that's really difficult in a wheelchair. So yeah, just have a think and look around when you're at events like that and see whether there's any wheelchair users nearby and whether they can actually see around you. I'm allowed to have a pissed off day. It's not upset, I'm just pissed off. That's all, pissed off. So I decided to try and use my anger to positive effect. So I called the limb centre to try and chase my shrinker sock. Got nowhere. I called the doctor to see whether he could do anything about my old cruddy wheelchair that I'm currently on loan with, that it's actually supposed to be short-term loan, and it creaks and the wheels rub against the frame when I go around corners. It's slightly annoying because that makes everything just a bit harder. So hopefully the doc can do something to push them along around about that. What else did I call? I called the travel service to see whether it can be organised for me to get some assistance with the cost of going to and froing to the limb centre, because that's going to cost me heaps and I can't actually get it done locally. So I had a series of calls morning. Oh, and I also called to pick up the leg. I'm going to do that tomorrow morning and drop it off at the crematorium. That'll be slightly odd. So I got up from my sorrow and made something of my anger and got a whole lot of things done and made a lot of calls, things like that. Chased the surgeon because my physio wanted to know if I could use crutches and the eye walk, and the answer was no to both. So I'm a bit pissed off about that. But the fact that I'm healing fast, the fact that I'm recovering faster than your average 75-year-old does not necessarily mean that I'm healing any faster, and I've still got to look after the leg, the lower leg, make sure I don't bang it and wait for the vascular stuff to heal and all that stuff. So I'm just feeling a little bit pissed off and impatient, but that's all right. So what I did was I sat in front of my computer. I did a whole lot of work on admin and phones and things like that. Not very interesting, but it has to be done all the same. And it's a way of getting back into work. I'm going to actually physically go in on Tuesday and Thursday still, but I did a bit of admin work today as well. Now I'm going to get up off my ass and go and make some lunch. So that's the morning. Yeah, it's all right to be pissed off. It's all right to be upset. But what it's not all right to be is down in the doldrums and staying there and woe is me. You need to get up off your backside and actually go and do something about the things that you're pissed off about. And if you can't do something about them, then stop being pissed off about them, because it's wasted energy in the first place. So that's my advice for today. Short and sweet. I didn't want to ramble on for ages. And have a lovely evening, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be a bit more cheerful.